Hey, what's up? It's Justin with CNS Construction. I just wanted to talk to you about Boss plows today. Here, hold on one second. Okay, so a lot of guys are talking about especially this one guy I've seen on YouTube. He's got a video going out where he's putting a Boss V-blade up against a Western V-blade or a Fisher V-blade or a Snow Dog V-blade. Now, I love Boss and how they've got their mounting system and how easy it is to quickly do it. You take the two little levers in front of your pins, you flip them to the outward position. That pulls two springs to pull your pins outward when you put your controller in float, and you flip the switch on the tower to the upward position, which takes the tower and throws it back towards the truck and then pops the pins. Same way with the other way. You flip it inward so that the springs pull the pins in, so that when you bring your tower up, they automatically lock in. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to do like Snow Dog, go out there and physically push up on the light bar, which I think is more work than what Boss is, but yet they're saying their system is better. I don't quite understand it. So, excuse me guys, I've been trying to get rid of this cold. So, anyways, this guy is taking Boss up against Western, Fisher, Snow Dog, whoever. He's also saying that the controller is not as good of a controller as Western, Fisher, Snow Dog, whoever. Now, when you look at the Western controllers, it's very complex. There is a lot of buttons to it. When you're out here in the middle of the night and you're on autopilot, you don't want a lot of buttons to be trying to push and hassle with. You're gonna get stumped. You're just gonna blow your brain out for the most part. The Boss controller is simple. They use the KISS method. Keep it simple, stupid. Now, this is my controller, and if I want to put it in float, all I have to do is this button right here, the downward button. I double tap it. See, it went into float position. Now, if I double tap up, it raises my plow up automatically. So if I want to put it into the V position, I simply take these two buttons right here in the middle, push it like that, push the plow in the V position. Same thing with scoop. If I want to scoop it, these two buttons here, push it, and it goes into scoop mode. Just like that up there. So, if I want to go left or right, like a straight blade, it's the same thing. Keep it simple, stupid. So, right here in the middle, I just push them to the right, push them in the middle to the left, and the plow does its thing. Now, the other nice thing is Boss has made it so stinking simple that I can use that same controller on a straight blade. And I've done it. I have a straight blade Boss, and I have another V blade. And I've had two in the middle of the night go and swap them out because something happened. So by doing that, it's easy to take and unplug the controllers, plug the other one right in. The controller went out, it was the controller that went out on me that night. So I just swapped the controller. Used my straight blade at that time that I was using constantly. The only other controller I had that I could use was a V-blade controller, but I was able to use it in the straight blade positions, and it worked. Got me through the night until I could get something to fix it. Same thing with the V-blade. I can use the V-blade with a straight blade controller. Keep it simple, stupid. I wasn't able to use all the functions on the V-blade, but it got me through the night. So they were talking about that with the V-blade, or with Boss versus Western, Fisher, whoever, and saying how the controller was bogus. You had to push the upper left button to take the one wing out, and then push the lower right button to bring the other wing in to put it into the angling to the right. Or to put it in the V position, you had to push the lower right all the way and then switch to the lower left. That is completely wrong. You push the center of them. It's the two buttons together you're pushing, and it operates on both at the same time. Then he went into talking about the cycling time, how long it takes to cycle through all the positions, and saying how Boss is so slow in cycling time versus the Western or the Fisher or Snow Dog. Okay, cycling time has nothing to do with snow plowing, really. If you're sitting there saying that you have to have your plow cycle through all these positions really quick, I would say you're wrong. I've been plowing for about 20 years now, since I was 14, 15 years old, and I'm 34 right now. And I've never had a problem with cycling time. I've gotten to the point where, and even when I started learning how to plow, the first thing that was drilled into my head is learn your plow and get the plow set before you get backed up into the position you're going to, where you're going to drop the plow and go. So that's the way I was taught. That's what I do. Cycling time has nothing to do with how you plow. If you sit there and think that you have to have a plow that cycles through so fast to get through the night, you're not that good of a snowplower, apparently. So cycling time to me doesn't mean jack. Doesn't mean anything really. I have it set before I get to where I'm going, before I drop it. The other thing I want you to notice is a lot of guys have their controllers set up to where they do everything with their right hand. I'm right-handed. I do like using my right hand for the controller because I'm right-handed, but for 20 years I've used it with my left hand. Now I can rest my arm here on my door, and I can lay my controller here in my lap, and I can use my thumb and push all the buttons, which leaves my right hand open to grab my steering wheel, come over here and shift at the same time, so I can steer and come down and shift like this. So here again, if you're thinking cycling time is the greatest thing and you have to have it, no, you don't have to have it. Simple little things like try using your left hand for your controller if that's your dominant hand. Well, even if it's not your dominant hand, use your left hand for the controller. Have everything set up for your left hand so that your right hand can operate your gear shift lever and your steering column. I see a lot of guys out there using their left hand and crossing over and trying to shift with their gear shift with their left hand that's on the right hand side, and they look really awkward, and it takes them a few more seconds to do things. A few more seconds of operation in the middle of the night when you're deadly tired can make a world of difference. How many times are you backing up? How many times are you doing that in one parking lot? If you figure it takes you 2 seconds to do that, if you're 20 times, how many times is that? I mean, those seconds add up. So my suggestion, if you want to lower your time in the truck, switch your controller to your left hand, use your right hand for steering, gear shifting, and all that. Sorry guys, like I said, I'm still trying to get rid of this cold. So anyways, enough on that. they were also talking about if your plow breaks down in the middle of the night. Boss has this cylinder here to raise and lower the plow. They don't have a chain. I like that feature. I've had a Meyer, I've had a Western plow, and I'm here in beautiful Elkhart, Indiana. The roads aren't the greatest in spots, and I'm sure that's with every town around the nation. So yeah, I've hit a bump or two or three, middle of the night, dead tired, speeding a little bit probably, I don't know. I was young. Hit the bump a little hard, plow flies up, chain detaches, and yes, I did have it through and hooked properly. I didn't have it just hooked and then draped back over on the outside. I put the chain through the latch, through inside the compartment where, or the little hole that you are supposed to put it through, and then hook the chain up. So don't think that's the issue. It still flew off, and it's done it multiple times, and had to pull off the side of the road because my plow was down, and then just rechain it up. But they're saying if your plow breaks down in the middle of the night, you can't short chain your plow. Boss has an emergency plow kit, and there's this little thing that comes in this kit that is amazing. It's a tow strap, or not a tow strap, but a ratchet strap that is designed for the plow, and it's designed to carry the weight of the plow. So you can't tell me that you can't short chain it, because I could take a chain and a come along, drive into the pile of snow that's closest to me, and chain this stupid thing up. Or if I had the emergency kit that Boss sells, I have this handy little ratchet strap, run the plow into a pile and strap it up. Same thing. So here, let me jump out of the truck here real quick. Okay, so I hope you can hear me out here with the truck running. This right here is my cylinder. This bar right here, that is the one you want to put your strap around. This bar right here is the light bar. That is not strong enough to hold the plow up. You want to go around this one. This is where the lift cylinder is at. See, this is the bar, this is the lift cylinder. Then you go down here. Now, sorry guys, I've been plowing. I got a little bit of snow out here. Then you come down around this bar right here. See, this is my center shoe of the plow. This is my A-frame right here that goes into it. You come down around this, and you can short chain it up here down to here. So it can be done. And sorry, I'm going to drop a name here, but Carson Shifsky, I think it is, in Minnesota. He's had some YouTube videos out, and I just saw him. He got a new Boss DXT V-Blade 9.2, and he's got a set of wing extensions. I've got a set of wing extensions. I put them on last year. Unfortunately, when I got them and put them on, it was towards the end of the season. This is the first year I've been able to use it. I love them. They work great. And he had the same problem I did when he put them on this year. The bar that goes on the back here, this bar right here. So you've got a ring here that goes in here, and a ring over here. So this bar right here that goes through, the powder coating on it, it is thick. So the problem I had is I couldn't get it through. So what I had to do is I took a drill with a little grinding bit in it, and I went inside this bracket here. I went inside this bracket and I ground out the inside of the bracket. I saw Carson's video. He's grinding down the bar. I wouldn't do the powder coating on the bar, because then that means you're not going to have that powder coating on the bar, which could rust out your bar. I'd rather have it in that thicker piece there. It's easier to replace. I can just unbolt it, buy a new one. So sorry, Carson, if you want to call me and talk to me about it, I'm sorry. You know, message me on YouTube or something. Shoot, message me on Facebook. So again, the wings on there, yes, there is a problem with them. I don't understand why Boss is sending these wings out like that, where the powder coating is so thick on them and you have to do that extra step. But besides that, I love the wings. The wings were a great investment for me. They are on a slight angle. I don't know the exact angle. I'm thinking it's about a 22.5. So when I'm going around a curve or something, sorry guys, I'm a little cold from being outside. So when you're going around a curve with these wings, having those set on the angle like that, so that they're angled inward, you're scooping more into your plow. You're keeping more contained in that plow. So you're not throwing off all these little dribbles and everything outside your plow. You're keeping more contained. Hope that makes sense to you guys. If not, message me. So now I'm able to clean up a little faster because everything is contained. And plus it makes my plow 10 foot. They're 11 inches wide. My Boss V-blade is an 8'2". Now that might not make much sense to you guys, but the center piece of a Boss plow, where you have the pivoting point, that is about 2 inches wide, and that's where you get the extra 2 inches. So by making the wing extensions 11 inches on both sides, that makes me full 10 foot. Now this year I'm running low on my cutting edge. This cutting edge now has been going on, what have I had this cutting edge? I've had this cutting edge for about 6 or 7 years. I don't like running with skis. I've never ran with skis. To me, it's a little bit more of a hassle. You're constantly having to go out there and play with the skis and adjust them, and as your cutting edge wears. I plow an awful lot. I snowplow for the county of Elkhart. I do some subdivisions, so I've got a lot of wear and tear that goes on my plow. So every night having to go out and redo those skis and play with them, it's not time efficient for me, if that makes any sense. Plus with all my other commercial accounts and everything, I mean, I spend every night when I go out, just on my commercial accounts, not the county account, I spend 8 to 10 hours a night just with that. Then when I do my county account, all my subdivisions, I have another 8 to 10. So that puts me out about 20 hours in the truck. That's a lot of time in the truck, a lot of snowplowing, a lot of time away from my wife and kids. But they understand that this is what I do. This is my bread and butter in the wintertime. So they understand. They get to ride with me in the pickup truck, and they love it, trust me. So what I do, instead of actual skis, well, now that I'm warmed up, I can go back out. So what I do is, right here on the front, I've got an extra piece of steel welded on the front here. I take the old cutting edge off, and I cut pieces, and I put a piece here on the outside edge. See, this is my wing. I didn't put the wing molding, the wing cutting edge on, because my cutting edge is so worn down. So I just got some 3/4 belting and made something up just to get me through. So I've got this piece here. This is one piece of this cutting edge here that, well, not this one that's on here, but an old one that I had on that I took off. This is that old one. And I cut a piece down, put one over here, and I put another one here in the center. That gives me a 1/2 inch thick on both wings. So I've got one again here, and I've got one over here. But now I've also got another piece on the back side of it too, since this is about six years old or so. I was getting down really close to the back side, so I wanted to stretch it out a little bit longer. This season didn't go quite that long, so I made it through with what I did, adding those on there. So that helped me out a lot. Saved me about 400 bucks for this year, but next year I am going to have to replace it. But when I go to replace that, I am going to take this cutting edge off. I'm going to take those pieces off, and I'm going to weld some other pieces on the back side of it. That will give me a 1/2 inch thick. Or, I'm sorry, it's a 1/2 inch thick now. It'll give me a full inch thick of steel to wear down, which is why it lasts so long. Little tips and tricks that we've picked up over the years. Don't know if it's good for you, if it works for you or not. If you like the skis, go ahead and use the skis. I'm not knocking skis, but me personally, I don't like the skis. I just, why spend the extra money on the skis? You're wearing them down. I've already got this steel. All it takes is my time just weld it on, and then I don't have to get out every so often and adjust the skis. That's my personal opinion. That's how I feel about skis. I don't really care for them. Plus, it gets down. I can scrape the pavement down pretty well clean. I'm not leaving it just this little bit of snow on my parking lots. So this is my first video. Plan on doing some more, and we'll see how things go. I mean, I've got some good things in the work for this summer. Looking forward to it. Been looking forward to some snow this winter too, to get out and do some snow plowing. It's been about 8 months since before we started snow plowing, and we didn't get that much snow this year. So anyways, guys, I just want to get on here, rant and rave a little bit about that, and click subscribe. Thanks, guys. Talk to you later.